Hey, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing this fine morning? 9:45 in the morning. Man, that's Central Time. Don't know where everybody else is located, but I am Central Time in Illinois. 2 hours west of Chicago, middle of nowhere, Illinois. And I want to start off this stream by apologizing. There's quite a few of you I should probably apologize to. And then there's an apology that's going to go out that's not going to be heard by many of you. But Friday, I did the live stream, and I said I was going to be putting out the interview with Cherokee. And I put that out into different chunks. And I was going to put it out originally in like different, at different times throughout the day. Well, I kind of screwed up, and a lot of the videos went out like at one time, and a lot of people got really mad about that. So I apologize if that made people mad, because I guess it blew up people's subscription feeds, and that got people really mad for whatever reason. I don't know why. I guess I don't really pay attention to the YouTube subscription feed that much. I know there's a lot of people that I subscribe to that post videos like multiple times a day, so I don't know, whatever. I apologize if me posting, like the 8 videos or whatever that I did at one time made you guys mad. So that's my apology to you guys. So my bad. I will never do it again. I will never ever post that many videos at one time ever again. So my bad. But anyway, today we are talking about interview tips and tricks in the information technology field. That's what this live stream's all about. 'Cause, I like to help people, and what's helping people if I can't help you get a job? So I want to help you guys get a job, and that's what this is all about. So let's go to the intro, and then we'll hop back to this real quick.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
All right. What is going on? Let me check the chat real quick before I get into this video, because you guys are on fire today. What's going on? Giants fan Garrett, Domenico, and Hamid. Let's see. Should I give up your networking dreams? Is it really that difficult to break into that department? No, I don't think so. I don't know why you would think that. I mean, any field could be difficult to break into. It doesn't matter if it's IT or any other career that requires a specific set of skills. So I don't really think it's that difficult. Just have to know what you're doing and work towards getting there. So keep on going. And then let's see. Domenico says they're 19, working IT, and you study full time. You're debating going to uni, but you're not sure if it's worth giving up the experience and growth from the job. What's your advice? Well, you're working in IT at 19. You have a steady full-time job. I mean, you can get certifications. That would be your best bet, honestly. If you're already working full-time in IT, just get certifications, because you're already getting experience, which is fantastic. Get certifications. I mean, it'd be perfect. Experience certifications, you're kind of set. Everybody's going to love you for getting those certs along with that experience. How hard do I think the MTA 7740 exam is? I've never taken that exam, but I can tell you, based on every single exam that's out there, and every single person that exists in humanity, everybody takes tests differently. So I can't answer that, other than, it's just different for everybody. That's it. There's a period. Like you could ace it in no time, and then other people can just have the most difficult time in the world for that. Like, I could go and say, like, that was the easiest test I've ever taken. But I've also worked in IT for, like, the last 15 something years, 15, 16, how old am I? 34, I'm going to be 34 this year. 16 years. So, I can't even keep track. I'm getting too old where I can't think, so that's terrible. So, a long time. So that test could be, that certification exam could be really easy for me. But that's me, I can't answer that for you. Even new people working in IT, like, they might know some of that stuff. They might be able to study very, very well and ace that exam very quickly. So there's your answer about that. Vincent, what's going on, Vincent? You're a physics electronics graduate and want to go into IT. How do I advise you go about that? I would advise that you go get some certifications in IT. Being that you're already a graduate in something, that's fantastic. Congratulations, perfect. But go get some certifications in IT, and then you'll be set. Honestly, perfect. Honest, like, boom, bam, done. What's going on, James? How you doing, sir? Good to see you as always. That's a great answer, James. What James said is perfect. Rob, if you already have your CCNA cert, I don't see the value in getting a Network Plus, quite honestly. Other than having another cert under your belt, which, I mean, but the Network Plus doesn't really provide any value. I mean, you already have a CCNA. Like, it's not going to provide you any value. It's not going to give you, it's not going to give you anything, Just on my PC and on a different account. I have to give it up to anyone in networking. That stuff is confusing to you. Matt, it depends on who's teaching you networking. It's depending on, like, where are you learning it from? Like, who is the person, people, material that you're using to actually learn, the networking, the material from? Because it can be daunting. It can be confusing depending on the resources that you're using to learn it. I know, I can't remember who it was, and this was like years ago when I first tried to learn it. It was years and years ago, and I just didn't understand it. I just didn't get it. I was like, this is just stupid. I don't get it. And then I kind of learned along my way, a lot of the basics and things like that. And again, not to shout these guys out, like, seriously, I feel like a freaking endless plug all the time, but the IT Pro TV will explain networking to you in a way that I think anybody could understand, quite honestly. And maybe Professor Messer could even do that with, like, the Network Plus. You can check out Professor Messer. He's on YouTube. But IT Pro TV, they do a fantastic job. I know even, like, the CCENT course that I was taking over there at IT Pro TV, just them going over, like, shoot, I lost my train of thought because I was reading something else. My bad. I don't know. Just the way that they explain things, though, is probably the easiest that I can understand anything. So when they were doing, like, subnets, when they were doing even, like, when they were trying to talk about binary, like, I was like, oh my god, I actually understand binary. I freaking hate numbers. Like, I hate this stuff. Like, this is the worst. But oh, the OSI model. That's what I was thinking of. Like, when they were explaining the OSI model, like, I actually, like, I could, like, retain some of that. I was like, man, this is great. And then since then, I've lost a little bit of that because I don't do a lot of the networking stuff. But in the next live stream, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I actually have planned with that stuff, because I'm really excited about that. But today's different. I'm getting into this chat, and I don't want to do that right now, because let's talk about what this chat's about. Let's talk about the interview questions, and let's get into that, and then we'll go into. I'll start answering some questions, but I know James will answer questions probably if he has time during this live chat, because James is a rock star. I love you, James. You're great. You're fantastic. Seriously, I mean that. You're a good guy. But anyway, let's answer. Let's do these interview questions. And in the video description, in this live stream description, there is a link. And if you go to that link, it'll take you to my website. I don't know if the SSL cert is working, so you might get to some stupid dumb error that says that the site's not secure, but I tried to fix that today. I really did. I renewed it like 3 more years and had to update it, but SSL certs are dumb, so hopefully it's working now. But anyway, today we're talking interview tips and tricks. And I don't know how many tricks I'm really going to give you, but it's more or less tips. I want to help you guys. I'm all about helping, and that's my big thing. That's why I do this YouTube. That's what I talk about all the time, helping. So we're going to go over just a couple of these questions that they have here. And these are questions that I've actually used in interviews before. These are questions that I've had in interviews before, that I've actually had to answer in interviews before. And you may get some of these questions in interviews and you may not. But it's important that you know at least some of them, at least understand some of them, and you may get some variation of these. So at least understanding, at least knowing about them, having a rough view of that, that's always a good thing. So we're going to go off, let's start with this first one that says, can you tell me about a recent project or process that you made better, faster, or smarter, or more efficient? And that is one I think I've gotten in probably like every single interview that I've ever been in. Especially this, this first part of it. Can you tell me about a recent project or process that you've at least been a part of, or that you've made better? That's always probably a typical question that you get during an interview. And this part right here that's not bolded, this is kind of like what we're looking for, what the actual interviewer is looking for. You need IT professionals who understand the big picture impact of their work. Candidates should be able to explain how their efforts made a difference for their employers. So even if you haven't worked in IT before, and they know this beforehand, they're going to look for you to say, you were involved in a school project, you were involved in some volunteer work, community effort, and you improved some process that you did in your school project, your school work, or your volunteer work in your community, after hour stuff to make it better, So here, you really have to maybe scrape the bottom of the barrel to find something to really kind of say, this is what I did, and this is the project that I was involved with, or whatever, and this is how I made it better. And they're really looking for anything, and they're looking for just the bare kind of minimum of something you did to try to see exactly how you can improve something. Even if it's something really small, they're just looking to see how you kind of think about things to improve them, So if you've, just streamlined a process in some way, if you've turned some kind of paper process into a Excel process, for some archaic system that, some volunteer work you were doing, anything weird like that, that's all that they're really looking for. They're just looking for anything that I guess in that area that makes sense, and like I said, it doesn't have to be work related. It can be anything outside of a job. So you just know that beforehand, know that before you get you get into that interview, that don't freak out when they say, you know, have you worked in a recent job and done a process or something that you've made better? It could be anything. It could be school, volunteer stuff, anything like that. So I hope that kind of makes sense. And we'll kind of go on to the next one. Right, so you've just been assigned to a project involving new technology. How would you get started? And then, let's see, this question will give you insight into how people handle technology products with which they have less expertise. So this one I really, really like, and this one I have also been asked before in an interview. So first thing, you've been assigned, you know, new project involving new technology. So right off the bat, they're assuming you know nothing about this new technology. What's the first thing that you're going to do? So the first thing that you're probably going to do is research that new technology. And that's what you're going to say. You're going to say, I'm going to research this new technology. I'm going to, you know, go on Google. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see what they have to say about it. And you can say you're going to go on Google and look it up. You're going to go on YouTube and look it up. You're going to contact the vendor and see what type of resources that they have, and materials that they can send me. You'll see what type of support that the vendor will offer you if they haven't already offered you any type of support already. You're going to lay out a plan of how you're going to handle the implementation of this new technology. You're going to implement, or you're going to lay out a plan of how you're going to train yourself for this new technology. Anything like that. Anything where you can kind of say, you're going to start a plan of action that that lays out kind of step by step, so they can kind of see exactly what you're thinking, but kind of shows them you can go from a start to a finish, and kind of see in between, you know. And they want to know that, yeah, you're going to research it, and then you're going to finish. And that's kind of always what I look for, I think, when I've asked the question like that. You know, are they just going to go out and put it out? And you'd be surprised, like somebody is just like, yeah, all right, we'll just go put it out. You know, I'll read the manual real quick and we'll go put it out. It's like, okay, well, no, you can't do that. You need to make sure that you understand exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're putting out. So some of these things take time. You know, you can't rush any new technologies and just throw them out. So, you know, make sure that you tell them you're going to research it, you're going to plan it all out. That's kind of how you're going to get started. All right, so this one kind of correlates with that other one. What steps would they take to overcome a knowledge gap and ensure they will get things done on time? So we're going over literally almost like all questions that you kind of see in an interview. This is like really good information right here, for anyone that has an interview coming up, or, you know, going forward. So here, you know, what they're kind of saying or implying is there's going to be a deadline. You may not know something about a specific technology, a specific product, application, what's going on. So what steps are you going to take to, you know, teach yourself, to learn, to make sure that you know about whatever product, application, whatever the case may be, so that whatever this task is gets done, you know, before the deadline. And we kind of covered that in this previous question. You know, you're going to lay out a whole plan to whoever you're talking to in that interview. You know, you're going to research, you're going to Google, you're going to YouTube, you're going to contact a vendor. In most cases, if it's something that's already on site, you can contact your other staff members and things like that. You can reach out to whoever. So make sure you're doing a lot of CYA. You know, you're reaching out to whoever you can to get as much information as you can, and, you know, kind of say you're going to be doing this as quickly as you possibly can. You know, so if you have to reach out to multiple people to do this, that's kind of what you have to do. But ensuring, yes, we're going to get this done on time. So that's a big one. All right, so again, and then this one, I've kind of falls in line with the other stuff. What technology related blogs, podcasts, tweets, or websites do you follow? This reveals whether the candidates are staying up on trends, do they have a sincere interest in IT, and keep up on changes in the field and your industry. So this one you can pretty much answer quite honestly, hopefully, and this does get asked. Yes, seriously, it does get asked. Answer honestly. What is it that you do to stay up to date? Is it Reddit? Is it YouTube? Do you go on, just like CNET or something? I don't know. It's whatever that you use to keep yourself up to date. Do you use like I don't know, whatever it is, TechNet, I don't know. You have to answer that honestly. Whatever it is that keeps yourself in the loop on whatever new things are happening in the IT world. So that's kind of important that that stuff is happening. So they just like to know that. It's good information for them. That way they know that you are keeping ahead of things before things are happening that you don't know about. So especially like security related things. This one, I was asked this actually in my last interview for a director position for a city, for one of the cities that I applied for. They asked if I shared any information of myself online, and I said, well, yeah, absolutely, because I'm all over the internet. I have a YouTube channel, and I share tons of information online. So yes, there's tons of information of myself online. So that's one thing that they just look for whatever reason. I don't know. A lot of people like that. Some people don't care. A lot of people will kind of look you up, see what kind of information you do share of yourself on there, online. So one video I put out a couple years ago is like, don't share stupid stuff online. If you're, starting to go out and apply for jobs, make sure you clean up your social media. If you're like in school and college and all that stuff, and you have like tons of pictures of you at like keggers and stuff like that, I would probably just take that stuff down. Even though like, yeah, you're in college, you're having a great time, it's time to start looking professional. So, take the dumb stuff down. Not that it's like dumb, it's just like whatever. You're in college, it's cool at the time, it's great, but start looking professional. So even like the stupid stuff that you might share on Twitter or Facebook or Tumblr or wherever the heck you share stuff, if it is in any remote way edgy, just take it down. Just remove it, because they will search for you. They will look you up, and if they find something they don't like, they could possibly just, not hire you because of that, and they will never tell you that that's why. As crappy as that is, that could just be the case. And how do you keep your technology skills current? That almost falls in line with, with this one, with technology related blogs and stuff do you follow. But then here, this is what they're kind of looking for. Has the candidate taken any online classes, or do they spend some of their spare time coding or troubleshooting technology issues? Have they taken on work projects in areas of tech they want to learn more about? So, technology skills current. One big thing that I always say is, yeah, I have home labs. Now recently I do YouTubes and stuff like that. But home labs is kind of a big one that you could do. You could say, oh, hey, I use IT Pro TV. That's a good one. Or you could say, like, I use Skillsoft, I use CBT Nuggets, I use Pluralsight, whatever the case may be. You could say, yes, I use all of this stuff. Or you could say, yeah, I do coding on the side, and I do this on the side. And I watch all these different YouTube channels and follow along, and I help people on the side, or I freelance on the side. Anything like that, just letting them know yes, I keep myself active. I keep myself moving forward. I don't let my technology skills go to waste. I'm always trying to improve. That's what they're looking for, you know. Or you could be like, oh, I'm currently studying for my CCNP, you know, whatever. So these other ones I'll just wait for a while to do, because we can do those ones at another time. The last few we could talk about them either later or in another stream, because kind of burnt out on talking about interview questions already. So this is kind of like a little bit of a like an insight in like what employers are potentially looking for, what they could be asking with questions, the answers that they could be looking for, and there's, you know, nothing to get overwhelmed with. So now, I guess if there's any questions in the chat, I will go ahead and we can go ahead and answer those. You guys are getting pretty serious in the chat about government stuff. NSA, government jobs. Man. It's like the real deal over there. Anyway. So yeah, that was my little spiel about interview tips and tricks and stuff. It didn't really, I don't think it really went the way that I wanted it to, but that's okay. It was kind of more of like a on the whim thing that I wanted to do. I have a couple videos that I need to edit today so I can put them out, and then hopefully tomorrow we can do something different in a live stream. I don't know. Nobody really sends me good ideas for live streams. Let's see. Check this. I know one thing that I'm looking to do, because I really want to, now that I'm kind of doing this stuff kind of full time and all that, is I want to go get a certification, and I want it to be in something different. I don't know what I want it to be in yet, and it really doesn't make any sense. And it's kind of funny that I'm saying this, but I want it to be. I just want it to be something. I don't know, maybe different, probably different, something outside of what I'm familiar with. But I want to just go out and get a certification, because I don't have any certifications. I have no certs. I've worked in the field for so freaking long that I've never needed it, you know? It's like, oh, here, I have experience, you know? Done system administration. I've done, you know, everything under the sun, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it's never really been, I've never really been questioned about it. They just kind of look at my resume and kind of see like, oh, okay, like he has experience working in like all these great places. I mean, I worked at a lot of really fantastic places, so my resume really speaks for itself. But I need to challenge myself, you know. I need to do that. I need, for my sanity, for myself, I need to challenge myself. So I should look here and I should see. I could do AWS, maybe possibly. I don't know. That's pretty, might be pretty intense, but maybe. I need to do a couple more things before that. Cisco, CCNA always sounds amazingly fantastic and fun, but yeah, I don't know. There's so much there. So much there. I don't want any of the CompTIA certs because I don't want to have to renew them. That's no fun. Nothing against CompTIA, but I just don't want to have to go back and renew anything. Even though there's lots of fun stuff there. EC Council, man, I don't know, maybe. It's really funny that I'm going over this right now, but I seriously, I was talking about this all day yesterday. Like, I want to go out and get a certification. I just want to do it. I have time where I can devote, like at least an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, or I can study and watch some of these courses and study, and I could do it in some time. But I just have to figure out what I want to do. Man, this stuff is intense right here. It's just Certified Information Security Manager. That would be good times. Not really. Man. I don't want any Microsoft certs. No Microsoft certs for me. Well, maybe, no. VMware certs would probably be pretty cool, though, to be quite honest. Those would be alright. I'd totally love to learn some programming, but God, it's so freaking boring. Oh, man, I don't know. See, now I need to ask myself my own IT career questions. That's funny. Because I need to figure out what I want to do. Like, what do I want to learn? And it's so silly. It's like, what does Zach want to learn? What does Zach want to do? And Zach doesn't even know. Zach can't even answer his own dang questions. What's going on, Terry? So I just kind of need to figure out what I think sounds the most interesting and go for it. And just do it. Oh man. I should just do this one. I'm gonna do that one right there. Do the SISM. I do want to take the accelerated CCENT though too. See, there's so much that I want to do, and I just don't have all the time in the world. I really wish that I did, because that would be really fantastic. I don't know how people do it. I really don't. I must have just had terrible time management, but we'll see. Maybe by tomorrow, I can figure out what I want to do. And then once I figure out what I'm going to do, I will be going over that on a daily basis, my progress and things like that in the live streams, because I think that would be really, really important. I'll be writing down my notes, taking all my notes and things like that. You know, what I kind of learned, what I think like the most important stuff was that I learned of that day, um, and kind of see how it goes. Stupid phone. Anyway, what certs do you have, Terry? Yeah, I just heard about the pen test from CompTIA, James, which is pretty cool. Who is this? Sorry, I'm getting like a bunch of messages. I just put out a video last night um, that I created for my like the town that I live in, and people keep messaging me about it, so that's my bad. Oh, hang on, now the wifey's calling me. Hold up. Let me see if I can mute this. Hold on. Hello? Alright, sorry about that. Dad life, you know. Fun times. Anyway, yeah, sorry, people keep like blowing me up because I put out this video. I'm gonna put up the video once I can find it here. Because it's not on this computer. It's on the YouTubes here somewhere. It's not anything that great. But it was fun to do. James, I will find out. I'm sure they're gonna do it, James. I guarantee that they will probably do it. They're pretty on top of all that stuff. But I will definitely ask. I can probably get an answer fairly quickly. Let's see. I'll ask right now. Anyway, sorry. Let me turn this off and this off. Nope, wrong one. So this is the video that I did for the town that I live in. So I live in Dixon. And there. Woo, so exciting. Anyway, sorry. See, yeah, people keep messaging me about that. And I'm just checking my phone back and forth, so I apologize. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I had fun doing it. I was up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, recording that video, because it was out in this, like it started snowing, and I was like dying to get out, like in downtown, when it was snowing, so I could do that. So finally able to get outside when it was snowing at night, to record that video, even though it was 1 o'clock in the morning. So on a Saturday, like the bars were closing, so like all the drunkards were out giving me funny looks. It was pretty funny. Oh, good luck, Lorenzo. I hope you get that. I hope you do good in the interview. You'll be fine, I'm sure. Anyway, does anybody have any other questions for me this fine morning? It's awfully early, and like I said, I didn't really plan this live stream out that well. I knew that I wanted to go over some of the questions, which I did, which I'm glad that I did. But that was kind of it. That's all I really wanted to touch base on. It's just a few of the questions. And then talk to you guys, which I did. And I talked about certifications, because I definitely want to get certified. So hopefully soon certifications will happen. Another certification that I have to get, it's not a certificate, it's a license. I have to get licensed to fly a drone. Can't get a job. What does your resume look like? I mean, you have 9 certs and 11 years of experience. And where are you located? You might have some fierce competition. That will definitely, you know, make a huge difference on your ability to get a job. You know, how's your resume look? Where are you located? You know, those two things could be bad. What's going on, Sarah W? How are you doing today? So let's see, we didn't talk about these last 3 questions here for these interview questions. We can talk about these real quick, and if anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them in chat, because I'm trying to pay attention to chat as much as I can. But as far as interview questions, here's a few more. And again, these are just interview questions that I have either gotten when I was in an interview, that I have received during an interview, or that I have asked when I was giving an interview. This question right here, what 3 character traits would your friends use to describe you? This is one that I actually received during an interview like a few years ago, and I thought it was an oddball one. Again, these are questions that you may receive, and you might not receive any of these at all, but you guys can go to the link in the description. You guys can see all the ones that I've already went over. You can replay this video later and then kind of see what I said about it. But anyway, the 3 character traits, and it kind of says this question give you a clue in personality characteristics or qualities that may not be apparent through the resume or traditional interview questions. So I looked that question up. You know, I was like, why are people like asking this question? They kind of want to know, like, all right, you're gonna ask the person you're interviewing, what three character traits would your friends describe you as, you know? And they're looking to see what you are going to say essentially about yourself. Like, what is it that really you feel that, trying to look at yourself on the outside, how are you going to describe yourself? How do you think other people just like see you? You know, do you think other people see you as smart and witty, and loyal? You know, is that how you would think other people would see you? So you have to really try to think of the best way to describe you from the outside, and use the best possible, you know, terms that you can. And I would be like, oh, you know, I think my friends would describe me as loyal, and I would think they would say that I'm there for them when I need it, or, you know, that I would be there for them when they need it, and you know, that I'm smart, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, try to talk yourself up a little bit in a way that maybe doesn't sound too conceited, I guess, but try to make it sound like you're there to help. That, you know, you're a helper. You know, you're a team player, and you're helping. That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to make it seem like, oh, your friends would say, like, yeah, you're there for them every time, all the time. That's what they're kind of looking for. Tom, the resume is good. Let's see, you can't get unemployment. Use the services, jobs you've applied for. One of them told you were too privileged. Where are you located? Like, what's your, you know, what state are you in? You can just give me that. What state? That could make it, you know, that could really make a big difference. I don't know what kind of jobs you're applying. North Carolina. Okay, what kind of jobs are you applying for? And what certs do you have? So the next question is, can you tell me about a time when things didn't go the way you wanted at work, such as a project that failed or being passed over for a promotion? So if you are brand new to IT, you may think that this might not apply to you, right? But this could just apply to something that happened at school. You know, maybe something didn't go the way you wanted at school. You know, maybe a project failed at school, you know, and you were passed over as like the chess team captain or something, you know. Just throwing a total nerd thing out there. But anyway, you know, how did you deal with it? How did you deal with that disappointment? And then here, it literally says right here exactly what they're looking for. And this is exactly what you have to remember. They're looking for you to kind of say, you took that downturn or that failure as a way to boost yourself back up. You took it as a way to you took it as a way to advance yourself in ways that you never thought possible. You know, you went above and beyond from here on out in this aspect and that aspect and did this and that. So they really want you to kind of say, like, even though you may have failed and you may have let yourself down in some way, you really use that as a way to really just boost your confidence back up, because you never want that to happen again. So I hope that kind of makes sense. You know, never let, and this goes in life, period, never let a failure set you back, period. A failure should never ever let you, like, just set you back in any way. Like, that first day, sure, failure can totally set you back, but use that failure to your advantage, because you never want to feel that way again. You know, you failed, all right, move on. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk, I've been like listening to a lot of his stuff, and he's like one guy who's just like, I try to fail. He's like, I I try to fail. Like that's what I want to do. I want to fail. I want to make myself fail because I know if I fail that like I'm doing, I think he said like I'm doing something right because I can succeed, but if I know that I can fail, like I know that I'm succeeding even more or something like that. Because when I fail, I try even harder and I do even more to succeed again. And it was in some way that he said that, and it makes a lot of sense. Like if you fail, like you're just gonna pick yourself back up and you're gonna try like 10 times as hard to make sure that you don't fail again. And you have to look at it that way, and you have to look at life that way. Don't ever let a failure set you back, ever. That's just like that's the worst. I'm a little bit all over the place because there's like so much going on. A plus, server plus, mobility plus, MTA. That's a lot of certs. Yeah, pretty much what James said, Tom. I would listen to what James had to say. But anyway, yeah, don't look at failure as something that will bring you down. Use that as something to boost yourself back up. I'm using really poor choices at words today, and I don't know why. I have no idea what's up with my word choices today. Like they just suck. They are just terrible today. Like my word choices usually aren't this bad. I can usually talk pretty coherently, I feel like, but today, like, I don't know. I feel like I just can't get the words out that I want to get out of my head. I sound like I don't know. I sound like a damn fool. At least I feel like a damn fool. So my bad. No certs in 2 years into bachelor's. You're 32. Should I job hunt now or wait to complete your degree? Wait to complete your degree. That's what I would do. I would work on certifications while you're doing your bachelor's, though. I mean, during any downtime that you have, you could be trying to study for any certification. Literally, like any cert. Just pick a cert. Go for it. Like if there's something, like one area of IT that really, really, really interests you, just study like an hour a day for that, half hour a day for that. I don't really care, you know. Study for it. Even if you're 2 years into your bachelor's now, so even if it takes you another 2 years to pass a certification, and by the time like that next 2 years happens, they're gonna have an updated cert for that. Just keep studying. Yeah, I wouldn't job hunt now. I mean, you don't have any certs. You don't have any. I don't know. Do you have any experience? I would assume you don't have any experience, and you have no degree. So I don't know that I would do it. You could try, but I've seen it happen before. And then let's see. Let's go with the last interview question. Let's see. I think I was asked this one a few interviews ago, and so here's how I know that I was asked this stuff. And this is kind of like a pro tip. And I haven't done a video on this yet because it's going to be part of my interview course. But a pro tip, I'm going to give you guys a pro tip right now. After every single interview that I do, I write down like questions, all the questions that I get, like any question that I get during that interview, like just so I know, just so that I can kind of go back and maybe remember what I was, answered to that question, but always just remember what I was asked during that interview. I don't know why. I've just kind of always done it. It's always been something that I like to do. I always kind of take notes of everything during an interview. And that's just so that I can review that whole interview process, and then I can replay it in my head, and I might replay it over and over and over and over again, because if I don't get that job, you know, I will replay the interview, I'll go over my notes, and I'll see where I went wrong, you know. And then, you know, when I talk to the people and they say, oh, you didn't get the job, I'll say, okay, well, can you tell me why? And that's one thing that I always do. Sometimes they tell you why, sometimes they don't, you know. But I always say, okay, can you just tell me why? You know, and they could say, oh, you didn't have enough experience. Oh, it was this or that or this or blah, 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 blah. Okay, great, whatever. I'll still go over my notes and I'll still say, okay, you know, I probably maybe didn't answer this question right, or probably maybe didn't do this right. And I know that I stumbled on this question. I know for sure I didn't answer this question right. It's one thing, I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I think everybody should kind of do that. Especially when you're first getting into jobs, you're first starting out into a career like IT, you know, it's good to do stuff like that. It's really good to have notes and stuff like of stuff like this, so you can go over it, so you can replay it, so you know what was asked, what you kind of maybe would have answered, what you did answer, and then when you kind of go over it, you can go back and say, I should have answered it this way. So the next time that you go in for an interview, and you get asked that same question, you know how to answer that question next time. You know what to watch out for. And I think that's how I became really good at interviewing. Like I think every time I interview, I think it's always a really good time. And you know, I always get some kind of comment like, "Oh, this is a really great, you know, it was really." They always say it was like a really great interview or something, you know, like it might not be their like exact words, you know, but sometimes it is, you know. But like the last 3 jobs that I've held, it's always been the case. Like, okay, we're gonna contact you in a couple weeks. You know, I go in for the interview, and then we're gonna contact you in a couple weeks. You know, and then it's literally the very next day they call me and offer me the job. Like literally the very next day they call and offer me the job. So I know that I'm interviewing really, really, really well. And I know it's from like all the past experience that I've had interviewing. I know that it's from all these notes that I've taken, all these times that I've gone over every single thing that I've done in an interview, all the things that I've done wrong, and all the things that I should have done. And that's just kind of my pro tip. Take notes. After an interview, take notes. During an interview, take notes. That's okay too. That shows initiative. People like that. But anyway, I was asked this question a few interviews ago. What are your favorite and least favorite technology products and why? And then, sorry, I should also go with, I Google these questions. Like, why do people ask these questions? I like to know because you can literally Google every single interview question. There's something out there about it. Why are people asking these questions? This is one of these. Why are they asking this question? And this is kind of like the best answer that I think I found about it. In addition to learning whether people like the products you use at your company, this question helps you gauge enthusiasm and knowledge. Do candidates get animated when discussing the benefits of certain tools? Do they seem to have a solid grasp of the positive and negative features of different technologies? So in one interview, years ago at a school district, where I got this question, I said I didn't like Mac. I don't like Mac. I don't like them. I don't like anything about them. You know, because something got brought up about it during this question. You know, and I was like, I don't like them. They don't do anything for me. There's nothing good about them. You know, I said I'm a PC guy, so that's all that I use. That's all that I like. I said if I had to support Macs, I would, but I really don't like anything about them. And that's where I screwed up, because I should have really just kind of kept my mouth shut and said, yeah, Macs are fine, they're great. I don't really have I don't have a problem with them. They're fine. You know, I should have just kind of like, I should have just like did like a little white lie, but I kind of opened up my mouth too much because they had like 4 Mac labs at the school, and one of my primary jobs is supporting these Macs. And yeah, I found out after I answered that question, so I screwed up from that. So that was kind of bad. And it's funny because now here I am. You know, this is like 6 years later. Here I am, a Mac user. You know, 6 years ago I freaking hated Macs, didn't want anything to do with Macs, and now I love them. So it's real funny. But anyway, you know, then talking about different technologies that you like and enjoy and that you like to work with. So nowadays I could talk about like mobile device management and AirWatch and how much I love that stuff because it's fantastic, or I could talk about VMware and how great it is and how great virtualization is. You guys have to figure out what you're passionate about. And you guys being new, you know, if you're just, you know, getting out of college or getting a certification, you could be like, oh, CCNA, I just got my CCNA. I love networking and I love subnets and VLANs, and they're fantastic and they're the coolest thing ever, and I love how I can have all these different VLANs and how I can segregate traffic, and it's so cool. You know, like showing passion for that type of stuff is that's what they're kind of looking for, you know. So beforehand in an interview, you can kind of look up the company, what they're all about, and then you can say, oh yeah, your products that you have here are so cool. Like, I think it would be so cool to work with your products and support your products and blah, 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 blah. That's just a little bit of brown nosing, and that always helps. So anyway, that's kind of all the questions for the interview questions, I guess, that I was kind of going to go over. If nobody else has any other questions, I think we're just gonna end the stream for the day. It didn't really go the way that I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'm just a little bit off. It's a Monday. Let's just blame it on the Mondays. That's fine. We'll blame it on the Mondays. Tomorrow's live stream should go much better. Should talk about some other stuff. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. We talked about IT Pro TV today. If you guys want to check them out, you can sign up for a free trial. And then if you like what you see over there, use the coupon code ITCQ30. Get 30% off your subscription. I'm not being paid to tell you this right now, but I will get paid if you use that coupon code ITCQ30, and I would appreciate it. But I do use these guys on the regular, and I love them. And if you want certifications, you want to learn more certifications, you want to learn more things about the IT, this is where you do it. 110% all day, every day. James could tell you. James uses IT Pro TV. He likes the IT Pro TV. I haven't got an answer back on the Pen Test Plus, so I don't know yet. But I will find out. I will find out for you. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Have a great day, and we will talk tomorrow, and hopefully later on tonight I'll have a new video up if I can get to editing that soon. So have a good day.